Hello, everybody. This is Bridget, and this is the Maven Insider. We are so thrilled to have Alberto Ortiz with us today, and he is with ATAX. Alberto, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. How are you doing, Bridget?
Not bad, not bad. We're so excited to have you here. This is a unique opportunity. I think ATAX is an incredible company from everything I've learned about you guys in the short time. And I'm so excited to hear your guys' story and how you got to where you're at. So do you want to go ahead and get started explaining who you are and, the journey of ATAX?
Yeah, absolutely. So Alberto Ortiz, as you said, I am the president with ATAX Franchise Inc. We started as a single office in New York City in 1986, and we started franchising in 2007, and in the New York City area with 10 locations. And now we are a nationwide tax service, really focused on our communities, our local communities. Our niche has always been the Hispanic market, one of the largest growing markets in the US, but we're really inclusive. We welcome everyone, and really our focus is tax preparation, both on the business, on personal side, and helping with a service that is required by everyone, but no one wants to do, and that's why our local community has us.
What you just said, how everybody has to do it but doesn't want to do it. I just didn't realize corporate returns are due next week, and now we're trying to struggle to get everything done there. So I hear you when you say, I don't know why it's always that thing that everybody avoids.
Yes. Yes.
So you said ATEX started in New York City. What part of New York City did it start in?
In the Bronx. So our flagship location is in Marble Hill in the Bronx, and then basically when we started expanding in 2007, we had 10 locations all over the New York area.
Wow, what an incredible thing. So 10 locations, were you part of, because I see your sign, it says loyalty brands, those 10 locations you had, was that with loyalty brands, or was that before loyalty?
So that was before loyalty brand. So I think that as we started growing and we started expanding into New Jersey, Rhode Island, and I think we started seeing some of the struggles, right? As a single operator, running a very successful one office, but then once you start expanding, then processes need to be better and support need to be better. And in 2019, then ATAX joined Loyalty Brands with the CEO, the granddaddy of taxes, John Hewitt. And what better way to have better processes or to continue expanding in our vision than with the granddaddy who created Liberty Tax Service, Jackson Hewitt, and then that has really boosted our growth, not only in the East market, but now we've added 17 locations this past year, and we are coast to coast. We have offices in New York, Florida, all the way to California.
So how many locations do you guys have currently?
So we have 62 locations nationwide.
That's awesome. That's so from 10 to 62 since 2019 to now. That's phenomenal growth right there.
Yes. Yeah, and more to come. So I think the other aspect that is really exciting with ATAX is we have really kind of three ways to kind of join. So the franchise program, which is really exciting, lots of great opportunities, kind of looking for that CEO-minded individual. They don't have to be a tax expert, but we've also have the area representative program. That's what we call like the elite program. And that's where an individual purchases a territory and then they develop that territory to add franchisees. And we've already sold over 700 territories nationwide. And that's going to be a great boom expansion across the US, which we're really excited.
So 62 locations, but you guys actually have over 700 territories sold.
Yes.
Wow. Talk about incredible. I love that. So, and when speaking about ATAX, what is the ideal entrepreneur or person? Because I mean, I think a lot of people, they come into franchises because they don't know what to do, right? And so what is the ideal candidate that you guys are looking for?
Yeah, great question, Bridget. So tax expertise is now required, right? And I think that's where we would provide. I think there's three things that we will provide for that individual. The key for the individual is you have to be a self-starter. You have to be focused on growth and focus on your community, but that has to be a CEO-minded leader. And then we will then provide our, number one, we're providing a great brand that will be recognizable. It's easy to remember. We have the ATAX Eagle. So something that will really kind of resonate with consumers. Number two, providing the processes and procedures. There's a great plan to follow, right? Someone that has been in the tax industry for 52 years. I've been in the tax industry for more than 10 years. My operations director has been over 20 years. So we have a lot of great experiences. We're going to give you the plan to follow. That CEO just needs to kind of follow the plan. And then support when it comes to operations, support when it comes to marketing. That way you can truly serve your local community and grow and focus on growth in your individual units or multiple units.
So I think this is a great transition, right? Because I met you guys, ATAX, because the inspection boys, so this is the Maven Insider, but we're also the inspection boys, right? That's what we personally run. And we recently joined Loyalty Brands as well. And I think it's so important because what you just described of the ideal candidate that you're looking for, right? And that's what most franchises are offering, but there's a lot of, I want to say, misconceptions when it comes to the franchise industry, right? You'll hear some people say, no, franchises don't work, but it doesn't work because some people aren't willing to follow the plan, right? And we've noticed that with different people that we've talked to where, they come in and they have their own plan and vision in mind, and it's completely different from everything we're telling them, no, you don't want to do that. And even comes down to marketing, right? You guys have a whole system in place towards the type of marketing that works, right?
Correct. Yeah, and I think it's definitely like guerrilla marketing and education of consumers. I can talk about the one thing that everyone has to do, and it changes every year. So we have to be out there really meeting where the consumers are, whether it's virtually or in person, and that education. But it's following the plan. Again, we as the leaders that are part of Loyalty Brands and then ATAX, we have made, again, lots of franchisees millionaires, but we've also had a lot of franchisees that have not been successful, and the common denominator is because they don't follow the plan, right? So we'll give you the structure, we'll give you the support, and then it's up to each of the business owners to really execute the plan and make that wheel spin faster.
Right, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And the plan is essential, right? And just like you were saying, how you've made some, franchisees millionaires. I think people go become an entrepreneur sometimes thinking that there's not going to be any hard work involved. And most of the time, you soon realize once you become an entrepreneur, like, no, there's a lot of work involved in doing all this.
Correct. Yeah.
So as far as investment types, what's the investment type like for ATAX for somebody to purchase a territory?
Yeah, so once, if someone is interested in getting into franchise, like buying a territory for a franchise, it's a low cost investment. Typically it ranges a little bit close to $30,000. There'll be a little bit of investment when it comes to the retail location. So a lot of that will provide a lot of structure, guidance regarding the best locations, best retail synergy, best area to be part of that local community. and then and then a small investment when it comes to typically around $5,000 for kind of like that grand opening or that first year. Because as a new brand, you'll be going in and many folks won't recognize a brand. So we have a very structured plan on how to communicate, how to engage that local community, and then how to help you make that brand be known. So very structured from a marketing standpoint, operation standpoint, kind of like that 8 tax in a box to really help the franchisee get started.
That's great. I love it. And now, as far as an ATAX franchisee, are you only doing tax returns, or what other types of services are you able to offer?
Yeah, so our tax returns is the bread and butter, as I say, from January through April. That is the majority of the revenue will come from there. But we also offer business services, bookkeeping, payroll, different services that will help the franchisee have that year-round business. And some create a great book of business that it generates tons of revenue. And then some have a lower, and that way they focus heavily during that January through April, and then a little bit slower. But we are definitely a brand that is open year round, and the taxes, we do taxes year round when it comes to audits for the IRS, something called ITIN, individual taxpayer identification number, for folks that don't have a social security number. And now, especially with immigration reform, that is huge. We can help consumers year round get their ITIN taxpayer. So lots of great opportunities for growth year round. The primary focus is obviously taxes, but then we definitely have structure for the franchisee to generate more growth and more revenue on a year round basis.
Now, obviously, we're still in a pandemic, but it seems like things are getting a little bit better right now. What did you guys, well, let me rephrase that. What did you guys have to do in place to help your franchisees during the pandemic, whether it's marketing, or what type of guidance did you guys have to provide?
Yeah, so I think the great thing with that, we're always thinking 5 steps ahead. And back in 2017, 2018, we created an app that is in-house called ATAX Live. And that is whether it's on your computer or on your app, that you can then take a picture, upload your documents, and send it to any location in the US, so to your local preparer. And last year, when the pandemic hit, we had probably like a day or two where we had to transition. But the good news is our structure is we quickly were able to work remotely. Our franchisees were able to continue to serve their clients. A lot of them work remotely from April all the way to the whole year, and depending on the states, the regulations. But whether the client needed service in person, a hybrid, or completely virtually, we have those tools that we provide to our franchisees, like the app, like tools internally where they can manage the client queue, and that way they can ensure that they can take care of their clients. And same thing with marketing. I think that a lot of the social media emphasis that we provided is letting consumers know that we have a lot of consumers that reach out to our franchisees through Facebook Messenger, and then they can set up appointments, and we can connect similar to through this, like Zoom, and help consumers or taxpayers however they want to be helped. We have solutions for that.
And I think that's so important to know how quick you guys were able to act, because I know just locally, like we're in New York too, and locally we're actually located out in Long Island, and locally there was a lot of similar companies to you guys, whether mom and pop shops of like CPAs or larger firms. And the thing is that got them is maybe for first somewhere a few weeks, somewhere a few months, they didn't know how to transition, right? They had to shut down their offices, and they lost a huge loss in income, which is unfortunate. But you guys already had a plan in place prior, without even knowing about the pandemic, and which was therefore a huge added benefit to your franchisees. So I think that's awesome. Great job.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think luckily a lot of the franchisees, even last year, it was tough for a lot of consumers, but a lot of franchisees saw growth. And like you said, a lot of the mom and pops, that's the majority of the tax locations in anywhere in the US. And that's where the benefit of ATAX as a franchisor comes in. Is many of them had hit a plateau of, I did 100 returns, 200, I can grow. And that's our focus. Our focus is, let us determine what your goals are as a franchisee coming in. And we sit down with our franchisees and discover, okay, what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to retire? Do you want to continue growing? Do you want to open 2 locations? You want to do 2,000 returns versus 200? And then we help them really on an individual basis achieve that goal. So that way, at the end of the agreements, it's a discussion of, we started with this goal. How did we do, right? How did you do? And our goal is that they're happy, they're excited. And as we go into the next phase, the next agreement is, what's your next goal, right? How do we help you achieve your personal goals? So that way we can make you successful, whatever your goals are as a franchisee.
I love it. And as far as goals, what is ATAC's next big goal? What do you guys want to accomplish?
Yeah, so I think the number one, we're really excited, as you said, with the loyalty brands. I think the umbrella of loyalty brands, that regardless of what our clients need, we can provide a service. So we know of a client that's doing their taxes, and then they need something when it comes to home inspection. They're going to buy a house. Well, guess what? We have a great company that we partner with, and we can refer them. So I think really expanding that is going to be great for not only the brand, but more importantly for our clients. We have big goals when it comes to, we want to become the largest tax preparation company out there to serve our clients, not just our Latino Hispanic community, but as I said earlier, we're inclusive. We help every consumer, whether it's in English or in Espanol, and we want to continue growing. We have great opportunities for folks that are very growth-minded, sales-minded, to expand or purchase areas as an area representative, continue opening locations. I think we'll open a couple hundred locations between now and 2025, and really building that structure internally as a leadership team. That way we can support every single franchisee and help them achieve their goals.
Well, I have to say, I am so excited to see what you guys do and your guys' road and adventure ahead of you guys with ATAX and loyalty brands. And even you mentioned the cross-marketing opportunity, right? Not, you know, the Inspection Boys is part of loyalty brands, but there's numerous other brands that are part of loyalty brands as well. So there's a major cross-marketing opportunity there as well. And I'm excited. I'm sure this is not going to be the last time we see you guys. So thank you again so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It was so nice to get to know you.
Thank you, Bridget. Yeah, and if anyone is interested in learning more about ATAX or area representatives or franchise, they can go to ataxfranchise.com and then learn more. They can submit inquiry, and then that way one of our sales representatives can reach out to them, and then we can tell them more about ATAX.
Awesome. Thank you, Alberto. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bridget.
Everybody, thank you for watching this episode of the Maven Insider. We're looking forward to having more great content and more great individuals like Alberto and ATAX opportunity. And if you guys have any questions, where can they reach you guys, Alberto?
Yeah, so ataxfranchise.com, and they can submit inquiries there, and they can reach, they'll have all of our contact information on the website or in all social media platforms.
Awesome. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.